Okay, welcome. This presentation will be about how I started out as a developer and ended up as a CEO. So what I want to do is I want to tell you the story of how that happened, and I want to draw some parallels between being a developer and being a CEO. So first, let me introduce myself. I am Dominique. I've been a Drupal developer since 2007. And together with Steven Pepermans, I founded Dropsolid in 2013. And it was only since 2014 that I called myself CEO of Dropsolid, because before it was just a two-man company, and it's a bit ridiculous to call yourself a CEO of a two-man company, so we didn't do that. But I don't think it's a good idea, so if you would be doing the same thing, I would advise that you start calling yourself CEO from day one, because it's a lot easier to find clients if you do. What is Dropsolid? Dropsolid started out as a 100% Drupal service company, and right now, 3.5 years later, we are 60 people, and there are 35 Drupal developers divided in different sections of the company. So, how did that happen? First, to understand how that happened, is we need to know what is a CEO, and of what am I the CEO, and why would you even want to be one, right? So then I can explain you how a developer can become one. So what you have to do to get there, and then there's also a shortcut that I want to share with you. So, what is a CEO? Basically, at Dropsolid, it's the guy who finds the people, the money, and the clients, and brings them together, and figures out the product, the services, the vision, the mission, the values, and then is nothing without a fantastic team to bring it all out, because I can think it up, but I can't execute it. So the basic idea here is that the CEO is basically the team leader of a team, and this is our team. All the ones who have like a little color are still the people we are looking for. So for now, in this team, the CEO is the leader of the management team. There's different managers. We have operations, marketing, sales, all these kinds of things. And yeah, you have to know a little bit of everything. So, but as a developer, you only know one thing, and it's how to write code. But there's some parallels between that, because like architecting an application, as a developer or as an architect from a development team, the CEO does exactly the same thing, but on a business level. He architects the company, and then he works with his team members to build something, just as you would build an application. It's basically the same thing. Then, if you do that, then you get to a bunch of services. So this is where we ended up after 3.5 years. But on day one, it was just Steven and me. And the only thing we know how to do was how to think of a concept and code the Drupal website. So that's how we started. And gradually we did the consulting, we did the training, we started helping clients with strategy, and then we thought of, like, wouldn't it be great if we would build a tool where we can collaborate together, and we've built James, which is a platform as a service tool. And then we also built a tool for the SME market on top of Drupal. So, but this didn't happen in one day. It took us a couple of years, and this is the road we've taken. I think the most important thing to learn here is the company is only as good as the team. It's the same thing with when you are writing code. The code is only as good as the developer. It goes the same thing for the company. So how did we start? We started just the two of us, and in the early days, being a CEO was just something I did at night and in weekends, until we hired our first project manager. We were about 15 people, I think, around that. We moved 2 times by then, and gradually we started to building this management team, and this was really key to be able to become a CEO as a developer, because you can't keep writing code and doing all the project work and thinking of everything that's involved on building a Drupal website. So we got an operations manager and a marketing manager, an inside sales manager, a sales manager, because once we were there, we were almost, I think, 50 people. Yeah, you need to find clients, because otherwise you cannot continue. So the takeaway here is the company is only as good as the team. So why would you want to be a CEO? And I think this is the most important question in the quest of becoming a CEO when you were a developer. I think the reason why we did it was we wanted to have more freedom. We wanted to decide what to do next. And it's not that we didn't work in great companies. We did, and the clients were great, the projects were great, everything was great, but we didn't have the freedom to do what we want, to act on opportunities that we saw. And Steven and I basically had this vision of creating more value, time and freedom, first for ourselves and then for others. And we saw 3 big opportunities in 2012, 2013. We wanted to free enterprises from project-based work. So as you all know, there's a lot of disadvantages on project-based work. It takes a lot of effort to put it all together, to follow it up, both on the client side and the company side. It creates a lot of overhead. So we wanted to free our clients from that. So that's why we started to do the consulting and the training, and we actually said we are going to learn you how to work with Drupal, train internal people, staff them with our experts, and deliver the tools and not just do projects. So I think one of these things were really key to the growth of Dropsolid, and why I was able to become a CEO and not stay in the development work. Then another opportunity was we wanted to free developers from stupid repetitive work. The reason we saw this opportunity was, and this was before all of the other platform as a service tools were widespread. We built our own, and we are still using it. It's hosting almost 1,000 environments. A lot of clients use it, we use it for ourselves, and it's a great way to collaborate on this. So, and then the third opportunity we saw was we wanted to free SMEs from short-term ineffective web and marketing solutions. So you all know how the hits and proxy media and all these kinds of things, where a client is sold an HTML website with some AdWords for a couple of €100 a month. We saw an opportunity that Drupal could take on this. So I think if the client gets a Drupal site, a real CMS where he can do proper management, proper marketing actions with, and has personal marketing, it's something that helps him a lot more in the long term, and it only has to be just as expensive as what they are getting now from these other companies who were there before us. So why would you want to be a CEO? For me personally, Drupal allowed me to gain a lot of personal freedom and allowed me to grow, because before I knew Drupal, I didn't really know what to do with my life before. So for me, it gave me the freedom to go after these opportunities and to free others, because that's what we did for ourselves. So freedom for innovation, freedom for ourselves, and freedom for others. This was the reason for me to go from a developer to a CEO. But now, how do you become one? Because if you're a developer, you know how to write code, but do you know anything about doing business? And there's a lot of things you just don't know, and it's a lot of things you might even want to do. You have to write a business plan, make financial plans, learn about sales and marketing, all these kinds of things, and you have to all do these things at the same time. So how do you go at this? There's only one thing I can say: you should go and ask some help, because it's impossible to do it on your own. So look at this list and see these things. What do you want to do? What do you like to do? And all the other things, you just find help as fast as possible. And then the sales. I think this is probably one of the hardest. You have to do the sales yourself. And for a developer, if we think sales, we think this sleazy sales guy. And sales is hard, because in the beginning you think, we have the best code, client, why can't you just buy our product? It's clear that we have the best code, right? But that's not how the world works. So it's an essential skill, and it's really hard to balance this in the organization of having a sales culture and a development culture. Trust me. So what else do you have to learn? You have to learn about research and development and marketing. And research and development, of course, being a developer, this was the fun part. And you think it's easy, you create something, you think somebody wants it, and then you go to the market, and then you find out that actually not so many people want it, right? And how do you do that? You go to the market, you listen to it, you listen to your clients, and you adapt all the time, and you have to do it all at the same time. All at the same time you are doing all these other things. So I think also here you need some help to figure this one out, because as a developer you see things from a different perspective. You see on how to architect it and make it scalable and all these kinds of things, but all these things doesn't matter when you don't have a single client. So this is something that is really something to look into. So, and then perhaps the most essential part is you have to learn how to build a team and how to create a culture. And to do this, I will try to explain based on the values that we have created in Dropsolid, that we use to guide us, because we are making it up kind of along the way what we are doing. There is a strategy, of course, but there's so many variables that you need something to guide you. And it's also not something that that you just think of one day and then you implement it. It's something that is discovered, and it's something that grows based on who are your partners, who are your clients, who are you working with. It doesn't depend on yourself alone. So, but it's very important that you look for it in every company. These values exist, even though they are not written on paper. What we come to is our first value is trust. So what I learned from this is that as a CEO, the only thing, if you want to go from a developer to a CEO, then you will have to trust your team. And you will have to trust them so much that, you trust them everything, because when we found the business, we've put in all our money, so you trust them so much that you basically trust them with your life. The second one is help. So, first of it, what I should advise is you should go and ask help from day one, and don't think that you can figure it all out. Nobody expects you to know it all. So in the beginning I was thinking, yeah, you're the boss of the company, you have to know it all, but you don't have to. You have to. It's better that you realize that you don't. You just know certain parts, and then you get help for the other parts. So, and also, if I look at the management team, the most important task for me is to help them do their job, not the other way around. And then the third one, our third value is challenge. So we are only looking for people to join us who like a challenge, because if you're in a startup, if one thing is sure, you will be challenged, and especially if you go from a developer to a CEO, it's pretty challenging on so many levels. But if you do so and you like this, which I did, and I think the members of our team too, you will probably grow with it, which is the fourth value we have. And you grow not only yourself, but also the company and the client. And this is where it all comes down to. If you live all these values, then the client will grow, and if the client grows and gets better, then the business will grow automatically. And then the fifth one, because it's really long term, if you don't enjoy it, then don't do it, because you will get tired really fast and it will not be a lot of fun. So I think the culture is something I was really passionate about from the beginning, and was also one of the reasons why Steven and I founded Dropsolid. It was because we wanted to create our own culture. We wanted to create the machine that created the products and the services, and we wanted to build this machine not like some fixed computer, but more like a living thing that could think of more things, because we don't know what's coming, you know. And this is also something we experienced, because all our new product releases were even things we didn't think of when we started out. So, to summarize this part, I think if you want to become a CEO, if you are a developer, the first thing you need to do is find a great team. And then you have to figure out what your clients you don't have want. And then you have to figure out how to grow it, because if you're just a two-man company, then yeah, there's not that much to decide. And then you have to figure out why, and probably figure out why I should have put this on the top, because this is actually the first thing you should do, is why should you do it. And then you have to learn the skills all at the same time. And if you can't do that, it's not bad. You just find help with your team. So then the vision, the mission, the culture, you all have to glue it together, and then maybe with a little bit of luck, then you might end up with something. So if you don't want to do all this and you think this is too much work, there's other options. And there's actually 3 options when you want to become a CEO. So the first one I already talked about. You can become a Drupal developer and then from there start your own company and become a CEO. But if you're not a Drupal developer, then we have a book, so you can learn Drupal and become a developer first. So once you've done that, then you can do all these things that I've been talking about. The second thing you can do is you can become a Cool Drops partner. So at Dropsolid, the machine we've built to deliver products to the SME market, which is a big market here in Belgium and also in other European countries, we've opened it up, and now everybody can become a partner and start delivering our solutions to their clients. It's kind of a franchising model, and if you want to know more about this, you can talk to Joren at our booth. He's our channel manager. And then there's also a special action right now, so the Fix for Free, so our basic product, we believe that everybody should have access to at least an experience to what Drupal can do, and we are offering this for free for 1 year with a real domain name. So everybody can experience what a Drupal site can mean for their business. And by doing this, we want to spread Drupal to a lot of SMEs and a lot of independent businesses, so they can use Drupal. It's a pretty simple system. It's totally Drupal based, so they can experience this. How now you might ask how you're going to make money from this. We believe that the only way that these independents and SMEs will really use Drupal and use the CMS is when they can experience also the extra services like the online marketing, because it's basically this is the gasoline you put in the Drupal engine to make it run. If there's no content in the content management system, not a lot of things will happen. And you can as well put an HTML website on it. So we are targeting on this, so we want to help these smaller businesses use Drupal, use digital marketing. And then the third one, and this is probably more interesting if you want to stay independent. The platform that we've built to build these kind of websites and the tools we've created, they will be opened up to every independent website builder. So we've done a market research, and in that market, the biggest group of competitors are people who build websites independently. And most of them are using WordPress. If you look at Drupal 8 right now, I think Drupal 8 has the potential to be better than WordPress in that segment of the market. The only thing that is missing, in our view, is the ready-to-install features. This is something WordPress has. It has ready-to-install templates, ready-to-install features. It's called. You can buy it in the WordPress plugin store. It costs you a couple of dollars and you can install it. Drupal doesn't have that. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of independent website builders don't use Drupal to service their clients. But what we did in Coolrops, we've exactly built this on top of Drupal. So what we've done is we've built a set of ready-to-use features on top of Drupal using the contributed modules, the core, all these kinds of things. And we can deliver it pretty fast to the client. So what we want to do is we want to deliver these tools to every independent website builder and have them use the same tools we've been using, so they also can deliver these kinds of websites with Drupal to their clients. So how we are going to do this? We are going to train them. We're going to do the Drupal training. We are already doing Drupal training for the enterprise. We can put them in the same training. We can learn them how to learn Drupal. We are going to target the lower segment, the starter segment of the new generation of website builders, because we saw in the market research that a lot of these independent website builders, they don't want to switch from WordPress to something else, and they believe that their system is the best, and that's okay. But the new generation, if we can learn them Drupal using our tools and have them use the ready-to-install Drupal features that we've built, then they can build faster than the ones who build on a WordPress site. Because what we want to do is we want to give them support, hosting, maintenance, and they can complete their offer. So by doing this, we will free them from scalability issues. Because a lot of them, once they have like 100 clients, they really get stuck. And what we want to do with the name of the platform is called Jimmy, because our enterprise platform is called James, so we are calling it Jimmy, Little James. But this thing will allow Drupal independent website builders to deliver solutions to their clients without having to worry about support, hosting, and maintenance. They get the development tools, they get the online marketing, they can complete the total package and be a one-man agency. So this thing is not completed yet. We are still developing, but the idea is there, and if someone wants to be a beta tester for the platform, then you can sign up at our booth or send an email to Drop Solid, and then maybe you can help us, because the next step we want to do, and that's why we are looking at the Drupal community, we want to allow a store in this platform. So it's been something that is really controversial in the Drupal community, but we wouldn't be charging money for the code, we would be charging for easy install and upgrade. And everything that's built will still be open source. And the idea is that all the revenue that is generated with the upgrade and install, a part of it would go back to the Drupal community. So this way I think we can bring Drupal to the SME market, build thousands of Drupal websites, give thousands of independents access to Drupal who are using now WordPress. Thank you. But to end, if all this is just too much for you, that's okay too. We are still looking for Drupal developers, so if you want to stay a Drupal developer, you can join us too, and you can talk to Aline at our booth. So, and there's also beer. Okay, bye.